I guess there's only one way to find out. Let's do it to it, right?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Roger, 0J, and I feel fine. Liftoff, and the clock has started. Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
All right. Here we go. Episode 12 of Rice on the Mics. And man, what a week it has been. New York, I know you're feeling the buzz in the air. The Knicks just walked into Boston, snatched the Celtics' soul twice, say that 5 times fast, walked out with a 2-0 lead. Bridges turned into a fourth quarter assassin. Brunson's heart slows down when it matters the most. Big Cat shows up eating on the glass. Oh, and the fans chanting Knicks in 4 in the middle of TD Garden and making it on the broadcast. You'll love to see it. Rename the Brooklyn Bridge to the Mikal Bridge. I don't care how. Just make it happen. But the buck doesn't stop there. The Thunder just embarrassed the Nuggets. Pacers are clowning the Cavs. And the Warriors, I mean, they're up. But Steph's hamstring, he said, we'll see about that. Yankees are chugging right along. Devin Williams is melting down. The Mets, well, the Mets are holding these injuries together with duct tape and good vibes. But at least Soto's starting to get hot, man. NFL rookies fighting over jersey numbers. George Pickens joining the Cowboys. And a Panthers receiver who just came back from a near retirement to say, nah, I think I still got this. We got a lot to hit this week. It's been a wild one. But, hey, that's why you tune in. This is Rice on the Mics. Let's get after it. All right, let's start with the most juice. The Knicks didn't just win 2 games in Boston. They ripped the Celtics' soul out, boys. Back-to-back 20-point comebacks. Bridges turns into the Terminator in the 4th. Jalen, Captain, Clutch, the godfather of my friend's kids, Mighty Mouse Brunson. Cool as ice, like always. This is exactly why the fans are so mad at Tibbs when he didn't get him in the closing game in Game 5. I mean, get this man on the court. If this man is on the court in a close game, that's it. I'll take my chances every time. Okay? And Josh Hart, like always, everywhere, makes the hustle and grind plays, the shit that doesn't show up in the box score. And that's why this team rallies around him and Brunson. And finally, Big Cat has come home. Going up against some grown man boards, we get the big game out of him. And it definitely doesn't hurt with Mitchell Robinson being back. True 7-foot center. Let's be honest. I mean, Big Cat thinks he's a 2-guard. So, Robinson being there, whew. And now, headed back to the Garden. Oh, boy. Big trouble for Boston coming up. This was such a good game and a good win for the Knicks. It really just drives it home that we are not here to fuck around. And I got to break down the stats a little bit more. I mean, Brunson, again, just knows how to keep the game at his pace. Calm things down. And also speed them up when they need to get sped up, you know? My heart was pumping watching him fucking shoot those free throws. God, I can only imagine being surrounded by 40,000 people screaming and yelling in hostile territory, knowing you have to make both to take the lead. God. But never a worry. Never a doubt. Captain Clutch hammers him home, closes the game out. Hart is running suicides the entire game, up and down. Oh, and he's casually just dropping 23 while doing that. And again, the big game from Big Cat. So nice. 23 and 17, being the double-double machine that he was all season. Took pretty much all year to see this. Where was this in the playoffs? Well, here it is. And what helps is Mitchell Robinson. I'm not trying to say feed Mitch the ball late in games or shit, even any time in the game, to be honest with you. But his rim and paint presence is a true force. And I need him staying down low and getting those offensive rebounds. Brings a new level of defense and toughness to his team that we've literally been craving all year. And let's talk about the man of the hour, or should I say, the man of the fourth quarter. Bridges was scoreless through 3 quarters. 3 quarters, 0 donuts. And the Iron Man turns it up when everybody else is tired, haven't missed a game in 4 seasons. Not me. Minutes police, who's that? Defense doesn't slide, has another game-stealing play against Tatum. He's making a real strong case to rename the Brooklyn Bridge to the Mikal Bridge. And lest we forget, OG, the unwavering demon time monster that he is, shows no emotion down 20. Oh, you're gonna throw that in my face? Okay, I'll come down and hit a 3 right in yours. Never afraid to get into a fight. First man there to pick up his teammates. An absolute lockdown defense. This is part of the Celtics' collapse, and it needs to be talked about. Tatum only has 13 points and goes 5 for 19 shooting. That's because of OG. I read a stat that when OG picks up Tatum from half court in 95 attempts, he's only allowed 18 points to Tatum. That is wild to think about. That's why they're constantly trying to get to Brunson or trying to get to Big Cat, because they know he can't do anything against OG. Which brings me into my next point, because I guess the Knicks finally put a microphone in my TV and listen to what I've been screaming the whole series, is that Brown can't go left. This is known throughout the league. This is known throughout the memes. They paid this man $280 million, and he can't go left. Yeah, he might dribble left. He might act like he's going to go left, but he always cuts to the right. And finally, the Knicks are playing him to go that way. So now Brown's out of the game. Tatum's out of the game. KP, look, he was a former Knick, okay? Porzingis, the dingus, who is this guy, whatever, and he was good. He could have been great. But some stuff happened, and then he wanted out and whatever. He's not playing really much because KP has autoimmune disease of some sort. And he literally talks about how his body just shuts down. He's not sick. He's not flu game Jordan coughing on the side of the bench. His body has no energy. It shuts down. He like sugar crashes. So, okay, no Tatum, no Brown, no KP. Al Horford's 57 years old. Drew Holiday's a good player, but he's been pretty neutralized this series. A couple shots here and there, nothing crazy, but we'll see how that goes. It's going to be really interesting to see how they respond at being down 2-0, because Tibbs is out coaching Missoula. I mean, they tried to hack him at shit, and they said, all right, fine, just keep racking him fouls. Go ahead, we don't care. Rack him up, and then as soon as we get in the bonus, Mitch ain't coming in. And then when he does come in, he's a dominant force under the paint, under the rim. And just, I mean, to see them go 10 for 40 from 3 again, it's crazy what the NBA has turned into. There's always been rumors that, or mumblings, I guess I should say, of the Celtics not being tough or not being able to close or mentally tough. So you're down 2-0 in a series, and you're about to enter probably the most hostile place you're going to play the entire year in the Garden. And yeah, I'll give credit where credit is due. They've had the best road record all year long. I think they only lost something like 8 games on the road, which is insane. But the Garden is just... The Garden is already a different animal. It's the mecca of basketball, right? But now, 2-0, both games in Boston. The Garden is going to be they talk about the floors shake from the building just because how it's built and the crowd energy. The floors shake. This might legitimately be a tremor or an earthquake. Look, they play Saturday, and then I would assume they play again Monday. And this podcast comes out on Friday. So hopefully the next time you hear from me, this series is over and done with, and we're talking about the Knicks are playing the Cavs or the Pacers in the Eastern Conference Final. Damn, that'd be cool. But you got to give the Celtics credit, man. They're not just going to roll over. You want it, you got to take it from the champs. And they're the champs right now. So we'll see how this goes. Really just like, oh, man, you love to see New York versus Boston, though. What a great series. What a time to be alive. The Knicks aren't the only team causing chaos in the semis here. OKC drops game 1, but comes back and absolutely embarrasses Denver. One for the record books. 149-106 to tie the series. Yes, you heard me correctly. 149. They set an NBA playoff record, dropping 87 points in the first half. And SGA is showing you why he's a household name, not just another decent point guard in the league. Had himself a day. Whew. Drops 34 in 3 quarters, by the way. Near perfect 11 for 13 from the field. And a real perfect 11 from 11 on the stripe. Which every gambler and every coach will tell you that's how you win games. Make your damn free throws. Joker put up 17 and 8 rebounds, but he fouled out late. And for his performance level, that's pretty much another one of his, like, oh, I'm taking the day off games. And then the crowd turns on Westbrook. He had a huge game, 14 points off the bench, game 1. And the cheers went from boos real quick. He landed a tech late. OKC's the first team to win in round 2 this year, which good for them, which crazy to think about. And they're the first team in NBA history with 2 40-point playoff wins in one postseason. These boys are young and fast and score at will. But I don't know, man. They're young. And you need some veteran leadership in the playoffs. Do they have that? Do they have the guy to step up? I mean, I know SGA is the leader, but it's like SGA, Chet Holmgren. I mean, like, these kids are like 2-3 years removed from college, man. Do they have what it takes? I mean, they got bounced last year by Dallas, right? We'll see. But speaking of scoring at will, Pacers, they might not play any defense, but man, I'll give them credit. They're scary on offense, man. A lot of this falls on the quote-unquote big, bad Cavs, but they're riddled with injuries right now, and it reminds me of the Knicks a little bit last year. And Hallie is just, he's becoming the player that everyone thought he wasn't. He dropped 19, 13 assists, and had balls of steel on the free throw line. Down 3, makes 1, misses the other, and fouls his shot. Gets the rebound, and Rick Carlisle, give him full credit, trusting his star, doesn't call his last time out. Hallie dribbles out, sets up the shot, and sinks it. Step back 3. Keeps pace with the Knicks and takes game 2 at Cleveland for the 2-0 lead. Jesus, man. You steal game 1, okay, fine. But Pacers stealing game 2 against the Cavs. I mean, the sound in that building when Hallie got that rebound, they were still cheering a little bit, but there was this sounds of like, oh, no, please don't. And then sure as shit, that step back 3, when they celebrated, there you could hear a pin drop. Talk about ripping the heart out of someone. And it's not like the Cavs didn't put up a fight. I mean, it wasn't back and forth the whole game. They literally just choked it away. Pacers were down big most of the game. And then in the fourth quarter, they go on an 8-0 run. And Donovan Mitchell puts up 48. But the injuries, man, the injuries got to him. This is literally, it's the Knicks of last year. And now they're on the same page as the Celtics. They're down 2-0, lost both games at home. And their playoff their playoff hopes are hanging by a thread. Who would have thought the 1 and 2 seed would both be down 0-2 in their series? And now the Warriors, look, they pulled out game 1 in a super low-scoring game. I mean, not just by Golden State standards, by, like, NBA standards. They somehow held the Wolves to 88 points. 88. Literally, OKC had 86 by halftime. I don't know. Curry's hurt, and he's out at least a week. So you hope that they can just continue the series and Curry makes a late Willis Reed-style comeback. But as expected, the Wolves took care of business in game 2. Randall took charge of the offense, which, if any Knick fan out there knows they watched Julius Randle, they know it wasn't so much that he took charge of the offense as more of he probably just held the ball and dribbled it between his legs a couple times and then passed it with 4 seconds left on the shot clock. But look, man, I'll give credit where credit is due. He dropped 24 and 11, and that's not 11 rebounds, that's 11 assists. And the Wolves also did something that the Celtics wish they could do. 16 for 37 from 3. Warriors, they looked lost. They didn't score until 5 minutes in the first and only putting up 15 in the first quarter. That's, like I said, no Curry, no advance. This series is probably over, and we're probably going to be sitting around waiting to see where Jimmy Butler goes in the offseason. That's going to be the extent of Golden State's run here. It was fun. It was great. They were out before they got Jimmy Butler, and then they climbed their way up to 6, 7 seed, wherever they finished at. But, yeah, time to pack it in. I would say it's just about wrapped up here. The sun is shining and the May flowers are blooming. And that means that it's baseball time, boys and girls. And luckily enough, both local teams are cruising right along. So let's get into this, and we'll kick it off with the Yankees. They have been the Yankees of the regular season. The offense stays hot. 10 run, 7 inning. Yeah, I'd say the boys are hitting just fine. And you have to think some of the guys are going to come back to normal, but you're still waiting for some more from Belly. But his defense in center field has been great. I mean, he tracked the ball probably about 100 yards a couple days ago. And Ben Rice, shout out Rice on the mics. He seems to be the truth. Austin Wells, have yourself a goddamn day. 5 ribbies, your first career grand slam. Make sure you get that ball back from the stands. But this lineup starts and ends with the best hitter in baseball. And that is Aaron Judge. He has his 12th home run. He's got 34 fucking ribbies already with a 32-game on-base streak. I mean, it's currently May 9th, and this man is hitting 400. Like, I am a fully admitted card-carrying Yankee hater. Go Mets, fuck the Yankees. But what Judge is doing right now, it's, dare I say, Ruthian. It's Mickey Mantle. And the best part is the ghosts that he's chasing are legends that were on the team that he plays for and that he'll be putting his Hall of Fame cap on for. Okay? Back in the day, they used to show Kershaw and Trout, like, And they would put the graphic up on the board, and it would be like, Kershaw's ERA or Trout's batting average or whatever. And it would be them in color, and then the 4 other guys in the graphic, and they would be in black and white. That's when you know you're not just good, you're one of the greats. When you're chasing guys where the color photos weren't even invented yet. Look, all right. Yankees, here's my take. Yankees are stacking wins, and some guys will eventually come back to normal, including Judge. I mean, if this guy fucking finishes the season hitting 400 plus, just, no. There's no way he doesn't slump a little bit. And to keep myself fully accountable, I did pick Boston to win this division. But the Yankees, they're taking care of business in May. So, I don't know. I guess we'll see how things look in July. Speaking of July, actually, you know what else is right around July? The trade deadline. And what are the Yankees going to do with Mr. Rule Changer, I want a beard himself, Devin Williams? Now, he is a free agent. And I'm not saying they're going to trade him at the deadline. But, I mean, if he gets his value up a little bit and you can find a way to swing that and get another bullpen piece, it wouldn't be the worst idea in the world. Cashman would never, but look, it wasn't so much he lost this guy's killing my fucking fantasy team, by the way. It wasn't so much he lost his closer's role. Okay, fine, you lose it, fine, whatever. So all right, we'll get you in the 8th. Low leverage situation, build some confidence, see if you can get that swagger back. Nope. Comes in, blows it. His ERA is currently sitting at a nice, solid, round number of fucking 10. 1-0. Then it was a little rainy, it was a little wet. Post-game, he says all the wrong things, which plays into a quote that kind of got leaked a little early in the year, saying how he can't believe how many media people are in the clubhouse after a game. Hey, buddy, hate to break it to you. This isn't Milwaukee. Man, there's not 4 beat writers and 2 of them you know pretty well. And the other 2, they're not going to write too bad about you. This is New York, in the words of Don LaGreca. This is New York. Not only is it going to be like 5 guys from the Yes Network and like another 3 from SNY, then there's going to be 4 guys from the Post, and then probably another 3 from the New York Times. And then not to mention the nationals guys like the Yahoo and the Google and because it's the Yankees. It's the Yankees. Honestly, look, I'm going to say it now. He's going to go down as one of those guys on the long, long list of that just can't cut it in New York. And look, maybe it's not fair of how rough we are on some of our players, but when you come to this town, you need to know that the fans here are smart and they're dedicated to the sport that they love. And we're also really quick to sniff out the bullshit. I mean, look, some players have grown and adapted to it and become better from it. So, pressure makes diamonds. I mean, Lindor, when they fucking traded for Javi Baez, he was giving thumbs down to the crowd. And now Mets fans, I can't wait to crown him as my captain. Or you could become fucking Joey Gallo. Hell, at one point last year in the season, the Yankees fans booed Judge. You booed Judge, okay? If Judge isn't safe for some boos, a closer who has to fill the shoes of a guy like Mariano Rivera, he is definitely not safe. And that, if you have a fragile ego, it is a recipe for disaster in this fucking town. So now let me get on to the Mets here, who, despite injury after injury after injury, They just keep pulling games out. Jesse Winker, the Twinker, as he's so affectionately called between my group of friends, the guy who you love to hate except if he's on your team, unfortunately, he's out with an oblique for a couple weeks. But that's fine. This has given the Mets depth, the ability to shine. Acuna has looked great, in my opinion. And McNeil is showing you how he won a Silver Slugger Award a couple of years ago. Okay? I mean, shit. Every Met fan should be happy Lindor is finally hitting in April for once. And Pete's looking for some fucking MVP votes. He's looking for that big money contract when he opts out at the end of this year. If I'm the Mets, I try and get shit done now. Just make him a Met for life. I'm not going to lie and say everything is sunshine and rainbows over in Queens. Vientos, he needs to get going. He's had some errors in the field, which I can overlook if you're slugging. Or, you're at least having good at-bats. But he's doing neither right now. And, the old rule is you hit or you sit, right? But if you can't field, or you're struggling fielding at least, and you're definitely struggling with the plate, that's something that we can overcome right now, but eventually it's going to rear its ugly head. And, he was a huge factor in the playoffs for us, and he needs to be that guy again, especially with some more bats around him. He's got to get it together. There's no way around it. Which brings me into the longest tenured current Met, Brandon Nimmo. He's hurt. He's playing through bumps and bruises, and it hasn't cost the team just yet, but you can clearly see he's gimped in the outfield and on the base paths. And he already doesn't have the best arm out there, so if you can't move and you don't have a good arm, he had an easy triple a couple days ago, and he limped into second, which then led them not into be able to score. I think somebody walked and then rolled into a double play. So the hitting hasn't been, I don't want to say spotty, but not what it should be. The real reason the Mets are winning the games that they are is the pitching, which no one saw coming, including me. Full admitted. I knew it was going to be good, or at the very least okay, but not this. They haven't had a starter let up 5 runs in a game yet. Then Senga goes out, it's another solid 6 scoreless. He walked 5 guys, but, another 5 strikeouts under his belt too. Here's my view on it. The Mets are right now the definition of next man up, okay? Duct tape, some big league chew, some good vibes. That's what's patching everybody together. And I'm okay with that. I really am. Just keep winning games, okay? There's 162 of these. You can't win them all. You can't. But as long as you keep winning series and you keep, some distance between the Phillies and the Braves, and that's what matters, man. I don't know. Just keep on going. The real big takeaway from this whole road trip is Soto. He goes 2 for 4, 2 home runs, 3 ribbies versus Arizona. 25th multi-home run game. Joins a solid list, which I'm sure he's going to be on many more lists throughout his career. He better be. This better not be fucking join the Mets and all of a sudden suck. But anyway, he joins the list of Mel Ott, A-Rod, and Eddie Matthews to have 25 multi-home run games before the age of 27. It's pretty gnarly. In his last 10 games, by the way, he's got 8 walks, 11 hits, 9 runs, and 4 homers. If that doesn't sound like a player that's starting to get hot, I would say you really don't know baseball. And that's the bullshit. I want to talk about this weird narrative going around with some Met fans. Some stupid Met fans, I should say. that he's, I don't know, not having fun with this team, or he's not joining in the celebrations. Does he really want to be here? Look, it's not that I don't think it's a good thing to celebrate your teammates' accomplishments, or, I don't know, be weird in the dugout, because anybody that played baseball knows there's so much downtime and a lot of shenanigans and bullshit can be had. But I look at it like this. Soto won a ring, basically carried the Nationals to that championship. Him and fucking Tony Two Bags, who is nowhere to be seen now, at 20 years old. Then he got moved to the Padres, and he played high-level baseball with the Padres, but, I think it just didn't work out. And then literally last year went to the World Series with the Yankees in this town that I just talked about how fucking rough the fans are, okay? So he's been through so much before the age of 27. Realistically, do you think he really, in all seriousness, cares about some wins in April or May? I mean, he sees the forest through the trees. He knows there are bigger fish to fry. And he knows, I think, for his legacy, if you win a ring in New York, you are considered a god forever. So every team needs that player. And they might get a bad rap, but if you plan on reaching the pinnacle of your sport, you also need that player on your team. And I'm just so happy that Juan Soto is on my team. He is the guy. I mean, Lindor is the captain. He's the leader. Pete is the dumb idiot that will mash home runs. And Soto is the guy that's there to come in the clutch when you need him, that will hold the rope when everybody else let go. The draft is over. It's the NFL offseason, and really ain't much shit going on. Just a lot of puff pieces and yada, yada, yada. But there's a couple things worth mentioning. Starting with Abdul Carter, the next Hall of Fame rush edger for the Giants, I guess, or so they think. As a rookie, comes out and actually during the draft said, like, oh, yeah, like, I'd love to wear LT's 56, whatever. Yeah, no fucking shot, okay? LT isn't just legendary to the Giants. He's legendary to football. So if you think you're going to play for the Giants and get number 56 unretired, you're delusional. So then he backpedaled and said, well, I wore number 11 in college. Maybe Phil Simms would let me wear his 11. And Simms, even to his credit, came out and did his best PR pivot. Said it was cool with him, but his family outvoted him. Which, all right, come on, let's be real here. That family vote, that's probably just the Giants front office behind closed doors saying, like, all right, enough of this. Kid's got to make his own name first before we start unretiring numbers for him, okay? In a weird surprise, what the hell are the Steelers doing move, they traded George Pickens to the Cowboys. So, they don't have a quarterback. They traded for Metcalf, and now they got rid of Pickens. So, cool. Works for the Cowboys, though. I mean, they really only give him a third-round pick swap. So there's a shit ton of upside here. I mean, CD is that dude. So pairing him with Pickens, Pickens is really good, but he's a goddamn head case, man. He's a personality risk. He's got sideline blow-ups, scuffles. He's a 15-yard personal foul flag waiting to happen. And then the other thing, too, is, is Dak going to be able to get this done? I mean, you got the weapons. You don't have the running back, but you got the weapons. So it's kind of like a make or break moment. I mean, they already paid him all this goddamn money, so he's not going anywhere, but you're squarely behind the Eagles, and the Commanders are right up your ass. So now it's time for him to prove if he's just pretty good or he can finally make that leap into, a great tier 1 quarterback. I mean, just don't. Right now you're Kirk Cousins with better commercials. Don't be that. Don't finish your career with that. And then I mentioned it in the open. Just want to give a quick shout out to Hunter Renfrow. He was battling ulcerative colitis, and he dropped all the way to 150 pounds. And now he's back with the Panthers, man. He signed that contract last year and then told them I can't play. And they stuck with him, and they drafted Tetratilin McMillan. I'm starting to finally get his name right. So Renfrow in the slot, McMillan on the edge. They're giving Bryce Young every option to be good. It's a feel-good story. And after the rest of the NFL headlines that have been coming out lately, we kind of needed one. So, I don't know. It's off-season mode. So, a little bit of bullshit jersey drama, some tiny trade chaos, but nothing crazy. And you got a feel-good comeback story. So, NFL's doing just enough to keep itself relevant and talking things up and getting things ready to go before the camps start up. But that's not going to be till at least late July, August. So that's really it for the NFL this week. Maybe something will happen by the time I jump on next week. But short and sweet and to the point this week. Okay. That's a wrap on episode 12. Man, we covered it all this week. Knicks pulling off one of the wildest playoff swings we've seen in years. God, it feels good to prove the doubters wrong. NBA semis going full chaos. Yankees bats catching fire. Mets surviving the injury bug. And now, we even threw in some NFL puff pieces. Just to wet your whistle, right? Listen, if you're new here, hit the follow button, leave a review, tell a friend, or better yet, tag me on Instagram. We can keep this going all day, man. And just for the record, that Instagram is at Rice on the Radio, just how it's spelled. RICEONTHERADIO. Don't forget, every week I've had that midweek mic check running on the stories. So jump in, man. Vote on the polls, ask some questions, drop your takes. Shit, let a rant loose that you've been sitting on. I read and respond to all of them, so I got you. I appreciate all you for tuning in. Make sure you tell someone you love them and spread some good energy in this world. I'll catch you next time. Same mic, same energy. This is Rice on the mics, and I'm out of here.